welcome to this world of IELTS and Media Mentor. Today I am going to introduce you to the part of IELTS syllabus. What exactly it comprises of. So let us first understand the full form of IELTS. It is International English Language Testing System. Right? It is an exam which has to be given by the candidates who aspire to go abroad either as a student or as a working professional. Now this test is comprising of four important dimensions, that is listening, reading, writing and speaking. Listening, as you could see over here, listening, it's a module of examination where you are asked to listen to some questions of what it is called as section 1, section 2, section 3 and section 4. Section 1, like it has got 10 questions, like it keeps on increasing from a level of a normal conversation between two individuals having a discussion related regarding a query, or maybe as you sometimes personally experience at a receptionist hall. So it's just a small tete-a-tete conversation and it goes very simple. And as and when you could go ahead, you will find the level of difficulty increases. Then after section 1, you have got section 2, section 3 and section 4. In section 2, it's more like section 1. In section 3, it is a monologue, a dialogue rather, between two individuals. And then in section 4, it is more of a monologue. So in this way, the IELTS listening is like a very interesting part wherein the difficulty level keeps on increasing from section 1 to section 2, then section 3 and then section 4. In listening, we have got 40 questions. As I said, each section comprises of 10 questions and has got 1 mark for each question. Right? And it remains same for both the students of academic as well as general. I'll talk about in depth about IELTS listening in the upcoming time. Right? And then we have got Ielts Reading. Again, Ielts Reading has got 40 marks. But in this case, we have got 3 sections for the students of academics. Right? Section 1 will comprise of 14 marks. 2 is of 13 and 3 is of 13. So it goes down to be 14. Right? In a similar way, for general, it has got 3 sections, but the first section is divided into 2 different parts and the second one as well into A and B. And that again is of 40 marks. It is said that the general examination is far more easier as compared to the academicians. It's nothing like that. Lot depends upon the kind of a practice that we have got or what we do during our preparation. That matters the most, or else everything is very, very easy. Right, from reading, then we have got writing. Writing again, it is like diversified for academicians as well as the general students. For the academicians, we have got task 1, where it has got graph, representation of some directions or something related to that. And then task 2, which is common like for both academicians as well as general. It's a question which is asked and you're supposed to write down. More often, it is a different situations of understanding in writing. I'll talk about that in depth. And in academics point of view, rather in general's point of view, the task 1 comprises of letter writing. Alright, so this is what writing looks like for IELTS, and then comes the speaking. Speaking again has got 3 parts, part 1, part 2 and part 3. This exam of speaking is not on the same day as like of listening, reading and writing. It is either held a couple of days earlier or a couple of days later than the main examination of listening, reading and writing. Speaking, you have to go in front of the examiner and you have to sit as like you give an interview of yours for a job in a similar way. Right? The examiner asks you to sit down, then you have to answer the question as and when asked by the examiner. What important in IELTS speaking is part 2, which is of cue card. A question is asked and you have to jot down the points for a minute before answering that questions. Right, you get some time for that purpose for 1 minute, and you have got 2 minutes of time for speaking. For that, you need to be very good in your vocabulary. You need to be very good in your cohesion and coherence, lexical resource, pronunciation. So this is where it comes in, and especially grammatical range and accuracy. That's where your IELTS speaking is traced upon the kind of grade that you could be getting. Right, the parameters vary for the students of general as well as academicians. It is nothing like that. It remains the same. The clauses, it's all about hard work. It's how you are going to put your efforts down there. Right then, so this is just an introduction. I'll talk about in depth one by one what exactly happens in listening, then in reading, then in writing, and then speaking. We will diversify each and everything and we'll talk about in depth in coming time. Thank you very much for your fine presence.